Morning. Ilka's being free. Is it really possible to have freedom of choice? That's the topic for today. We considered packing up and going for a swim and not being here, but we highly value you guys.
We do, because you are our people, and you also have probably, like Joe and I, been obsessed with awakening, or maybe it started out as just thinking there must be a different way, like life can't be this hard. Why? Why is life this hard?
Yeah, questioning.
Usually, questioning, and that leads to awakening, and then awakening is always about knowing you have choice. So yeah, we're very, very grateful and appreciative to be here in a group of mums and dads who appreciate having free choice for themselves and then giving free choice to their children. One of the things that came up last week in the feed under our latest video was double standards. And one of the reasons that I love the woman that we are having as our special guest on Saturday, so the link for that event is in this video, in the post with this video. So get your tickets to that event, because Dana Martin is somebody who has really, I think, one of the few people on the planet, like there's probably only 1% of people at the moment who are consciously living with their children and giving them total free choice over everything in their lives. It's pretty phenomenal. So yeah,
and how courageous she was in the beginning, when it was so new and so many naysayers, when she went on Oprah and Dr. Phil and the Jeff Probst show. So many naysayers, and she stood firm on her beliefs.
I know. I watched some of those replays back, and I'm just like, wow. She really was so brave, and her kids went on the show. Her oldest son went on some of the shows as well, and you know, he would have got some kickback too. So yeah, they're a very brave family. They put a lot of their family life on YouTube. And it was wonderful for me, because I really did have, I was hell-bent, I was totally obsessed with free choice. I mean, my father was too, so that's probably where I got it from. Having free choice for people, having freedom in your life to do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. That's basically the only rule. Like, if nobody else is getting hurt, you have free choice to do whatever you want. And we stop compartmentalizing things. So one of the things that Dana showed me in her book, Radical Unschooling, was that education does not have to be something that's really compartmentalized. That everything in life is about learning, and you can use your whole life as a place to learn. And we've really, sleep, what else is there? All the things that are being
food, education, as you mentioned, but many things. Sleep is so simple to start with. When we think that it's important to put our kids to bed at a certain time, and then many of them, like, that's the only time that they're getting free choice or an opportunity to manipulate by saying, yeah, I'm going to bed, but then do something else if the door's shut, and choose to game or get on their phone or whatever, because that may be the first time during that whole day when they've got a moment to do what they want to do.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, this year, when I'm not working with parents, because I'm a faster EFT practitioner, I get a lot of clients with chronic illness. And a lot of the clients I've had this year, because they're all coming through a girl I work with chronic fatigue. She's on Instagram, and she's got quite a big following, and I get a lot of people coming through her, and I've worked with over 10 young women this year, and they have all been around 27, 28 years old. And one of the biggest things is they have to try and sort out that what Jo's just saying there, because the only times in their lives they felt like they could have freedom of choice was often when they got home from school and they had the night time to themselves. So they're using up all the sleep time to do things that they can freely do. And the only way that they can kind of reorganize that is to get chronically ill, because they've never felt like they have freedom of choice during the day. And then sleep is always one of the biggest problems that they have. But this is because sleep, I have to point out to them that sleep is when they get to be free, and they like, oh, so you know, all of these things are happening mostly because people are getting chronically ill in their late 20s, early 30s, because they're not learning to follow their own internal guidance system from a young age. And that is what Dana gave her children, which is, I mean, it seems like, why not? That should be what we all think is totally, like it should. Why is it radical? Is the thing. Like, why is that so radical? Only because we've had 200 years or more of compartmentalizing our lives. Before that, it really wasn't a radical thing to follow your own interests and follow your own passions. It's certainly never been a radical thing for the royal families and for the more wealthy people of the world. That's still what they do. So it's interesting that we don't.
Well, it's curiosity, isn't it? And doing some of our own research outside of mainstream media, which is something that I love to do, to look at the education system and why it began and what it's really there to do, and bigger systems and bigger organisations that lead us to believe that we should live our lives a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. So the research, if you're in this group, you're probably one of those research kind of people too, and you probably have read lots of stuff about the different styles of parenting. But really, this style that we're talking about in here, where you're doing the inner work on yourself, is still very, very new, because even in the radical unschooling movement, I've read the feeds in those, and Dana has 25,000 people in her radical unschooling group, which I encourage you to join. I still, when I'm in there, I'm often one of the only ones promoting something like tapping, or promoting something like to help with their issues. Most of them are giving suggestions about what to do instead of working on themselves. So this idea of working on yourself first is you know, this is the radical idea for parents now, but it's phenomenal in how it works. And I think the meme we had up yesterday was, in a world where perception changes reality, when you shift, when you as a parent shift your perception, your child will shift too. This has to happen because your perception has changed. So so it's very, very cool.
It is.
And we're really excited, and get your tickets, guys. We're really excited. It'll be wonderful to have this encouragement from Dana, to get inspiration from her. I can't believe.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We were talking about this before we came on live, about in the past how when Ilka first came to Dana's work and her book and whatnot, to think that was not even a thought that we might be here one day and she could reach out and ask her to do a workshop with us.
Yeah,
so it's very cool.
Very cool. Let alone have 300 people that are really keen to learn this information, who are courageous and doing, interested in what doing the inner work means and being self-responsible. Because I know now that Dana talks a lot more about this, and one of the videos that I've shared in the files section, where she is speaking at an education conference, she talks about doing the work of Byron Katie. And really the faster EFT work that I do is very similar to the Byron Katie work. It's really about looking at yourself, asking yourself, really prominent questions, and by that awakening yourself to what do you want in your life? What do you want to choose? You have free choice, and so and therefore allowing it more and more for your own children. So we're super excited.
Yes, we are. So click on the link. One thing I've done before when I've seen events in Eventbrite, I've clicked on going, thinking that was getting me to the event. But with this one, you've got to click on the payment link and pay, and then you'll get an email with a Zoom link to join us on Saturday. Otherwise, if you just click going on the event, nothing further will happen.
Yeah, and I can guarantee, like, if you've got any concerns about like just or any questions, like start writing your questions down, because Dana is an incredibly compassionate and just really kind, and she just has a beautiful way of kind of helping people to understand things from a different perception without she speaks a lot about her own experience, and I've really enjoyed, watching her coach other people. It's a really fascinating thing to watch, because it's a real art to be able to say, you're doing it this way, but what about this way? And because there can be a lot of triggers that come up. So when I've watched Dana coach people, I've just thought, wow, she's a real master at that too, and makes people feel really comfortable as well. So just to come and watch her doing that is a cool thing too.
Yeah, awesome. So click the link, and if you have any questions for us, please go ahead in the comments below. And any questions about the event, if you have any trouble with that, just pop them below as well. And we look forward to seeing many of you on Saturday.
Yes, the Zoom, once you've registered for the event, the Zoom link will come out in your email. And I think there's even a countdown. So then you just join through your email, and we may post a link. If you're registered, you'll be able to use the link that we post. We can post that Saturday morning as well in the group. So either find your emails or find our post on Saturday morning, but you have to be registered to be able to join through Eventbrite.
Yep.
Okay. Yay!
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Have a
Be
wonderful
free.
day. Be free.
Be free.
Nor recognise that you have freedom of choice in every moment.
Every single moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.